Hey, welcome my friends. Hello. Here we are, Mount Maunganui Caravan Park, and I'm sitting in my little caravan here delivering our Chat with Matt live stream. It is the 2nd of December here in New Zealand, 2020 still. How can we serve you? Here to answer any questions, any comments, any requests of topics to speak to, whatever would work for you. Let me know. I haven't got anything written in other than a few comments on the photo that I posted, which is an old, one of my old posters again. I've sort of went through some of the old ones and I've been popping them back on. So the saying was, open your mind and let go of judgment is opening your mind and letting go of judgment is a sure way of elevating yourself. And there's a picture that some people found quite impressive of me in Lotus, using my hands to prop myself off the ground on a beach in the Coromandel. One of the reasons I chose that photo is because I remember when it was taken back in 2014 on a beach where we will be this afternoon. We're not there yet, we're still in Mount Maunganui, which is Tauranga, but we're leaving here after I complete the call after this one, the Bright Light Client Attraction Process Q&A call, and then we will be heading up to the Coromandel. Very little cell phone reception / what do we call that stuff, data available up there, so I've been stacking the work in over the last 24 hours while being here in the Mount. So yes, the only comments there are impressive pose. It's not that hard, to be honest. If you can get your legs into Lotus, it's not that hard to push your hands down and lift your bum off the ground. It doesn't take that much core strength, but there you go. I'm happy that it's impressed people. So what would you like to know, my friends? We're just in the shadow now of the full moon. We're in the shadow of the full moon. So the full moon was about 36 hours ago. I won't do the math exactly, but about 36 hours ago. And you nearly finished, honey? Yep. It's really hard to concentrate. Marie's trying to get out the door to the beach. She's bopping around. So yeah, full moon is just over, but we're still still in the intensity of the full moon experience. So that's kind of working for us. I know the intensity can feel a little bit concerning, can feel a little bit shattering, can feel a little bit, hey brother Phil, can feel, I think it's supposed to say kia ora. Oh, it does say kia ora. Sorry, look like a bee. Hey, Sister Jane. So be an allowance to the fact that you still might be a little bit racked up. There goes Marie to the beach, complete with big white hat. It's looking like a perfect day up here. There's a little wave rolling in. I probably will get a little swim before we leave here after my sessions this morning. I've already climbed the mount. For those of you who didn't pick up, I did a little live stream from up there this morning. We went up at about 6 o'clock. A little bit after sunrise. So allowance of the full moon especially. We're into for an awesome month to finish this year off. We've got, so that was this full moon that's just been, had a lunar eclipse, not a very impressive one to look at, but nonetheless a lunar eclipse. Hey brother John. And so in 2 weeks time, we have our new moon, which comes with a full solar eclipse that can only really be seen from over land. It's just going to cover a small swathe directly across southern America, South America, through Chile and Argentina, I would imagine, those two countries. But yes, full solar eclipse, mainly seen out in the ocean, either the Pacific or whatever on the other side. I guess it's the Atlantic, Southern Atlantic. Although I'm not sure, showing up my my limitations in geography. So that's pretty awesome. And then a week after that, we have our solstice, followed 8 hours after solstice with the great conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter. I always get those funny planets mixed up. But yeah, Saturn, the grand conjunction, thank you, John. Saturn and Jupiter coming very, very close together, less than a degree separation in the sky. there on the 21st of December, which is quite an occurrence. It happens once every 20 years. We have a conjunction of those two planets, but this is the closest it's been for 350 years, and it's the first time in 200 years that it'll be in an air sign, and it's in Aquarius, and it's at 0 degrees Aquarius. So it really is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, which is exciting, right? It's really a very, very potent portal for new beginnings in expansive ways and in new ways. So that's very exciting. But as a repercussion of that exciting new beginning, we're going through some rather painful and intense old endings right now, and we're seeing it both externally and internally. Stuff's coming up to be released, and don't be surprised if some more rather startling revelations occur in the external world, in our political world, in our, in our structures out there that are rapidly falling apart in a rather spectacular fashion. So, how can I help you? What do you guys want to know? What questions may you have? They can be personal questions. They can be general questions. They can be requests to speak on certain topics. But Matt Mantara does our best work when speaking to something that comes to the fore. I don't consider myself a great lecturer. I'm not really good at putting together a concise topic to talk on. I go best when I'm stimulated into conversation through question, through other people requesting stuff. So hit me up, my friends. Hit me up with something, and let's see what we dance into. I've left my water a little far away. While I'm waiting for that question to be feverishly typed in. I'm living the dream at the moment. Marie and I are tiki touring around New Zealand. It's kind of we're doing an early summer holiday before the crowds hit. In general, New Zealand's quite quiet now because it's not easy to get into the country with the COVID, situation. So the country's quite quiet, so we took our leave and are basically doing quite a tour of the North Island, looking for retreat venues where we can do retreats next year. Hey, Sister Pamela, local New Zealand yoga retreats, and seeing some of the country we haven't seen. Drove up the east coast, the northern east coast, which I'd never been to before. Climbed the lighthouse on the most eastern point of New Zealand the day before yesterday, and we're going to head up through the Coromandel, looking at a couple of retreat venues, then go up north to Paihia, the Bay of Islands, to look at a boat where we're doing a retreat in February, a 5-day cruise on a boat around the Bay of Islands with 18 odd people. That's going to be fun. And what are we doing then? We're going down the west coast. Shelley. I'm going to read it down here, Shell, because that's this great background that I've chosen. It's not easy to read against with the white writing. So what do I need to do? I need to hit refresh here so I can find this post. That's not it. Come on, show me this thing. Here we go. Shelley said, I have been physically ill since Monday, hit with 3 different issues, can't even get clear on what I need to release. Any suggestions? Done chakra balancing and aura clearing, still stuck. Okay, so first thing, Shelley, I do have some suggestions. First thing is choose to believe that you're not actually stuck. Hey, Brother Paul. Choose to believe that you're not actually stuck, even though the symptomology has not just shifted and gone away. Trust that the symptomology that you are feeling, the different quote-unquote illnesses, are all releasing, because it's just perfect timing, right, with the full moon eclipse and stuff, that you are releasing what needs to be released, and it does take time. So don't view the illness as a wrongness that you need to get rid of to prove that you are spiritually correct or whatever. Be willing to go through a process while maintaining a empowered perspective that what you are feeling is what you are releasing, whether that's a physical symptomology that you're feeling or whether that is emotional, mental stuff that you're feeling, trust that it's all going through a process of release, and those processes do take time. Rather than labeling yourself as stuck and not being able to clear it as quickly as your ego would like, and I can definitely resonate when I'm feeling off. I want to sort it out quickly as well, but sometimes it's just not appropriate. Sometimes, just hold space that you will clear it as quickly as possible, and then choose not to label yourself stuck, choose not to label yourself as failing just because the symptomology is hasn't gone away yet, whatever that word is. No, I still can't get it. Doesn't matter. But, the symptomology is staying put, but just trust you're going through the process. Don't get too concerned about getting clear on what it is, what's caused it, or what you even need to do. Just trust your intuition. So just do the simple stuff. Definitely maintain hydration. Definitely, if you can, find time to rest in connection with the earth. Best is if there's some sunlight, to get into the sun, get your feet on the earth. I know it's easy to say when you look out the window at that and I'm going to be down there on that beach, with my feet and then swimming in the ocean. Great. But I know you might not be in that situation depending on where you are in the world. But whatever you've got available to you, do your best to get out, get connected to the earth, breathe deep, breathe into some, good quality air outside. And hold compassionate space for yourself. Hold compassionate space for yourself. Is there anything else I need to say? I'm not sure. Okay, so Sister Tracy, good morning, Pamela. Sister Tracy said, is it the same for bringing in finances, Matt? Not stuck in a process. Charging for healing still a bit of a pill. Yeah. So, I get it, Tracy. So please, the most important thing is not to judge yourself as failing in bringing in finances. Trust that finances are coming and maintain that intention. Because intentions are all that really matters. Don't get too caught up in judging your evolution or your rightness or your progression based on the external situations that you're currently experiencing. Many of us are experiencing hard situations. I've been experiencing some hard situations over the last few months as well. It doesn't mean that I've gone backwards. It doesn't mean that I'm failing now. It's just part of what's coming up to release. Where our responsibility starts and where our responsibility finishes is what intention are we bringing to each breath that we're taking. Now, I know that might sound like a lofty goal. What intention are we bringing to each breath? But what intention are we bringing to the day? What intention are we maintaining consistently? And that doesn't mean constantly, but consistently. What are we aligning ourselves with? What outcome are we choosing to step towards? That's all that really matters. So maintain an intention that you're open to step into charging for your services, Tracy. Hold an intention that you are open to stepping into allowing greater degrees of prosperity and financial abundance to flow into your life. Be willing to take action towards that as best you can, but don't judge yourself as failing just because your bank balance isn't looking great yet. I know that's hard because money especially, health is another big one, right? Health especially, we hold intentions that we're healthy, happy, and, functional in this world. And then when we're not, it's hard to accept that we're actually doing okay. But finance is another big one. And, love relationships is another big one. But, with your finances, I know we all need a level of money to exist in this world. Money has been very much linked to our survival, and it's also a way of measuring our thrival. So we all want to thrive in this world. We all want to be an expansive expression of self. We all want to make an impact and influence others in a positive way. We all want to do that as light beings on this planet. And money can get quite sticky. And many of us have some rather interesting entanglements with money from other lifetimes and other experiences here. So be an allowance of whatever needs to release is coming up to release, and also maintain your intention that you are stepping forward into that as best you can. So stay relaxed. Ultimately, I know this time is going to be really intense. The intensity is not going to ease off. It's going to be quite intense moving forward through December and January. We might get a little bit of a reprieve in February, March. We might find ourselves with a new level of stability, but potentially not. I'm not pinning my life on that, but I am pretty sure that this next month running into the end of the year is going to be relatively eye-opening. So strap yourself in, my friends, and be an allowance of that. Tracy said, consistently intending freedom of expression and being supported for my unique expression and seeing the same freedom for all. Thank you, Matt. You are very welcome, Tracy. That sounds awesome. So yeah, that's it. Just hold that space and allow it to keep unfolding for you. Pamela wrote, I am being guided to move now from this environment, which is great. It's just not clear how I can afford to do this. What can I focus on with this? Okay, so Pamela, it's really beneficial to see yourself, not necessarily in a particular environment that you recognize, but just see yourself, hold the intention that you are moving into a space that is very, very conducive to your happiness, to your most expansive expression of self. And don't worry too much about the hows right now, or even the where. Just hold yourself in the intention that wherever you're going is going to be awesome for you, and then allow yourself to be guided in subtle ways, right? I know we all want to get hit with the awareness and have the name of the place we're going, written across our consciousness in burning letters, but that very rarely happens for most of us. But rather just follow your guidance and just inquire into different areas that feels in alignment with your vision for yourself, living an expansive, happy, free lifestyle here on this planet, where you can really align with your purpose and where you can really deepen into relationship community, and feel supported in that. So be good with that, and just follow your nose as best you can in moments of time when it feels appropriate. Ultimately, relax. Do your practices to stay relaxed. I know it's hard when the intensity's high, but the most important thing that we can all do is stay relaxed, because that gives us the most access to our intuitive guidance. And it's our intuitive guidance that's actually going to keep us safe and actually help us thrive through these times of instability, right? The times are going to be chaotic and unstable, and so staying as relaxed as possible and not getting caught up in the contraction of the egoic mind wanting to ensure our survival by dotting our I's and crossing our T's and understanding everything that's happening and wanting to be able to micromanage our path forward. I know the ego wants to micromanage. It wants to know the hows, it wants to know the whys, it wants to know the wheres, and it wants to know the whats. But we just don't. None of us will know that. Not even the most hooked up psychics are really going to know how this is going to unfold, because it's happening in the moment, right? Even spirit doesn't know how it's going to unfold. We are all just holding intention that it happens in the most beneficial way, and how the most beneficial way looks is in a moment-to-moment thing. So what's important is that we allow ourselves to get very moment to moment with our intuition. So don't worry about getting intuitive guidance about what you're going to do in 2 months' time, because there's nothing to do about that yet. Just maintain intention that you get intuitive guidance about what to do now. And that might be pertaining to what's going to happen in 2 months' time. So it's not that, but you're not going to get the plan laid out. You're not going to get do this, and then that will result in this. You're not going to get that in your mind. Mostly not. Some people maybe, but mostly not. I know I don't get it that way for sure. I get what to do right now. and maybe what I need to do this afternoon, but not not what's going to be happening down the track, and what I should do to prepare for that. If there's anything to prepare for that, I will get given the information to prepare to do without even knowing what I'm preparing for, right? So quite often it seems like I'm doing stuff that's kind of like a waste of time, and it's not till 2 weeks later that I realized that what I was doing was setting the foundation for an opportunity that's arisen just now. So that's how I have found everything unfolding, and that's what I would encourage you to relax into. It's not easy, right? So be compassionate with yourself, and don't beat yourself up when you find yourself, starting to loop in trying to get things to work. But I'm sure you are capable. So, Sister Pamela and everyone else, this is how we're going to move forward. This is really how we're moving forward into this new era, where we're getting much more out of the structures of the mind, much more out of the planning mentality, the logistics, and the building frameworks, and much more into intuitive guidance and collaborative work, and in the flow and in the moment. And while there's still foundations to build, but they're more heart-based foundations in the real connection with ourself, connection with the earth, connection with our community, and a deep level of confidence in spirit and in the being that we be, acting through this physicality. That's really where our structure now comes from, rather than our structure coming from a bunch of rules and our place in an external structure. It's much more internal, in my opinion, much more integral with the all. So hopefully that helps. And when it comes to affordability, just trust. All sorts of things can happen with how money plays out and what we can afford. And many miracles will unfold around that. Who's next? What else, my friends? What else? I think I missed anything. I'm going to click on here while I've got the chance, in case something scrolls through. Awesome. Awesome, Phil. I missed that when you wrote it. Phil said he's had a wonderful transformational experience this full moon. Me too. How do we prepare for the solstice? Relax into connection with yourself is the basic answer, right? So, there's probably going to be, I don't know how much of it's there already, but this potential for the solstice is also coming with, and this grand conjunction is potentially coming with, some scientists are looking at the sun and expecting some solar ejection, some solar storm plasma, what we call sunspots, sun flares, whatever, that looks like it's lining up, and it has done in the past, that these times of solstice and strong energies generally can come with the potential for impact from plasma ejection from the sun, which has the potential to disrupt things, telecommunications. If it's strong enough, it can actually disrupt our ability to transmit electricity on this planet. So power grids could go down, and they might go down in a big way. If the solar storm is strong enough and the plasma wave hits hard enough, it can really knock us around, especially our electronics and even our electrics. So there might be some fear-based propaganda about, store water and food and all the rest of it. I wouldn't dismiss that. Don't operate from fear. Don't get all contracted around it. But I would encourage everyone to have, a week's worth of food and water on hand. at least just a week's worth of drinking water. It's great if you can have some auxiliary water, like, you know, a small water tank that collects off your downpipe, not necessarily drinking quality water, but at least washing and cooking quality water, you know, something that you can boil and use to cook food with, and then have enough, you know, rice and staples to keep you going if such a thing was to occur. Not that I'm getting any guidance that it's likely to occur, but the point is, when you take precautions, it's easier to relax, because then you go, well, if it does happen, we're going to be okay. Me and my family have got the necessary stuff, right? If you need candles and extra batteries and stuff, have that on stock as well. That stuff, you know, a lot of it doesn't go off. It doesn't go off in a hurry, and it doesn't hurt to have some basics put aside for an eventuality. It's just prudent. So I would encourage you to do it, and then not to worry about it, and not to get too contracted around it, and certainly not to stress about it, and not to run around trying to get other people to do it as well. You can mention it, but you know, don't allow yourself to get in a situation where you're jeopardizing your relationships, trying to save people or trying to help people when they don't want your help, because they want to bury their head in the sand and they don't want to know about potential bad things happening. I know that's hard, but just listen to your guidance about who you share such stuff with. So, but the ultimate way to prepare for the solstice is to really dig deep into yourself and to develop deeper levels of trust within yourself, with a capital S, right? So your little self trusting your big self is where we're all moving toward, and that is ultimately how you will make the most out of any energetic portal or opportunity, is when you can trust yourself to operate in the moment in an intuitively guided way. So any sorts of preparation that help that, meditation, breathing exercises, yoga, qigong, tai chi, whatever helps you deepen your connection. Gardening, spending time in nature. I know a lot of you guys are going into winter now, but doing forms of exercise and forms of connection with the earth, and getting in some fresh air at the appropriate times during the day to help you really deepen your connection and relax into yourself and into a level of trust in the universe. Does that answer that, Sister Tracy? Any more? Sort of coming to the end. This might actually be a half-hour one, which wouldn't hurt, because I do have to pack out of this caravan. Marie's already taken off to the beach. Pack out of this caravan, and then I'm going to do because it's a 10 a.m. checkout, and then do my last call from the car, as you do. This trip is really yet another opportunity for me to dig into a deeper level of trust, that when I'm called to show up to work, that technology works for me, and I do find a way. It's always been an issue for me. I remember when I first launched on the telesummits, I thought, from New Zealand, I wouldn't get, I wouldn't be able to do it, and I'm not exactly what you would call technologically. Especially 5 years ago, 6 years ago, my most technological tool was a battery gun, was a screw gun or a nail gun. I'm not sure which one was more technologically advanced, but there was very few computers in my life as I was working as a builder, so it's been quite a steep learning curve. But anyway, as I tiki tour around New Zealand, and as I've done other parts of the world, just trusting that when I open myself up, time slots and take sessions and do the rest of it, that I will get technology working for me, and find good connection spots and all the rest of it, and everything will function. Because the more that I can do that, that's what I'm choosing to do, become more location independent and free to move around, and still, not let that have to sacrifice my ability to surf. I will get to the beach eventually, Sister Tracy. I still have to deliver one more call after I've packed out of this caravan, and then I will spend some time on the beach, and then we're moving to an even nicer beach, would you believe, because it's less built up, but not nearly as connected in terms of internet and telephone connection. There's probably telephone connection there, but there's probably not 4G cellular connection, and there's no Wi-Fi. So that's why we stayed here for a night, which was also awesome because we had friends staying just down there in their caravan. We went and had pizza with them last night and then spent time in the hot pools, which is right here, right next to the caravan park as well. So that's our 4th hot pool experience in less than a week of leaving home. So we're doing okay. It's sort of every second day we find ourselves in the hot pools. Hey, Sister Debbie is in this little camper van just down there, her little Nelly. So there you go. She's in the background. I don't know if we can see her waving. She might get out and dance for us on the lawn. You might see the doors fly open at the moment. So that's pretty cool. When the audience is actually in the frame. That might be a first, Deb. That might be a first. You might have just set Mantara history there. The first person watching my live stream from actually in the background of the shot. Yeah, Jill's got a chilly, frosty England. So envious that the beach behind you. Yeah, it's our time. We've had it. We get to watch you guys when you're going through your summer from chilly and sometimes frosty where I live, but not so often. We only get a frost 3 or 4 times a year. But certainly windy, and it's terrible down there right now. So we've escaped late spring on the Kapiti Coast where we live is very, very unpredictable, and they've just had 2 storms within 24 hours around the full moon, which always seems to happen around full moon time. Quite heavy, destructive, cold, like 11 degrees top temperature for the day, Celsius that is, and windy in the first day of December, right? That was the joke going around for our friends at home. They said, welcome to the first day of summer. 12 degrees and a howling southerly, which is our cold wind. Anyway, my friends, that's it for me for this week. We will be back next week with our next edition of Chat with Matt. For those of you in the Mantara Transformation Empowerment Support Community, we have our topic call this weekend, moving into a topic of empowered endings, which is a great topic to do for December, but it's also going to include anticipation of the new beginnings that are coming with the conjunction, and also celebration of all sorts of things, right? Getting through this year. Many of us have had massive breakthroughs. Some of us quite externally, but most of us very internally have had massive breakthroughs through what has been a really, really hard year. So working with celebration, working with appreciation, working with anticipation, which is an interesting energy, right? Of these endings and also the beginnings. So dancing a little bit with the polarity of endings and beginnings, because this has been a very polarizing year. So it's an awesome time to work with polarities and allowing ourselves to realize that endings aren't separate from beginnings. They are together, right? Endings and beginnings happen together. Every time when we're having a new and it's just a matter of where our awareness is at. We can be having a new beginning or an old ending in the same experience, in the same moment. It's just a matter of what are you choosing to be aware of, and to what level, and are you allowing it to be a more empowered experience place. My favourite holiday place, Madeira, sorry, I'm hopeless at pronouncing things, had storms and massive waves and high winds for the moon. Yeah, it's relatively common, right? Full moon storms. Anyway, my friends, it is time for me to get off this. So I will catch up with you if you're in my transformation group. I'll see you on Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning. Otherwise, if you're just here with us in our bigger group, then I'll speak to you next Wednesday. Much love. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Finish button didn't work.